Hi guys, and welcome back to Sweet's vlog. Sorry, Dan is kicking the treat ball. Hang on, let me just pick it up. It's going to get very annoying if you keep hearing him kick it. But it feels like a very, very long time since I filmed a vlog. You would have just seen the trailer there in the background. So Dan and I are finally going out and doing something. So the last time I'd done something with him when I went out in the trailer was back in January. I don't even know if I logged it or not, but I took him to a pole work lesson, which was really good. And yeah, we just, as you guys know, it's been a really quiet winter, which I've mentioned quite a few times, purely because there's just nothing on for us to do. There was a showing show last month that I was planning to go to, but it got cancelled because the weather was really bad. So they postponed it till today. So yeah, we are going showing today. I haven't gone showing since November. That's the last time I took him showing. We're only going to Codden, which is 20 minutes up the road. It's really, really local to us. It's indoor, on surface. And yeah, we're just going out for fun. It's obviously been a few months since we've been showing, so I've got no expectations at all. It's just to get us to get out, basically, get the first show of the season done, because they can always be a little bit rusty, and I'm sure we'll both be a bit rusty. But yeah, I do it all purely for fun, as you guys are aware. But yeah, today there's really no expectations at all, as long as he enjoys it, as long as I enjoy it, and just get the season started, basically. So yesterday I gave him a bath, so he's had a bath, and I cleaned my tack. I've loaded up the car with my tack, basically got everything ready. I was up here this morning at 6:30 to muck out, etc., and then I had to go to work and sort the horses out there. And then yeah, I've had like a couple of hours of not really having anything to do, because I was done by 8 o'clock, and I thought there's no point platting up because there's only one arena. Let me put you guys there. Yeah, so there's only one arena. So they do the in-hand in the morning and then the ridden in the afternoon. If you're at like a bigger venue where they can hold more classes, or if you're on grass, the ridden and the in-hand starts at like 8:30, because you just have different rings. But where we're going today, you only have the one arena. So yeah, you have to split it between morning and afternoon, and the ridden is always in the afternoon. Dan knows he's going out. So yeah, so he's all clean. So I've just got to brush him over and then obviously get him platted, which I'm going to do now. I need to be left here by 12:15. But yeah, it should be super chill. I'm going to bring him outside his stable while I plait him, because I can see better. And yeah, I've got my showing stuff on. Put this on at like 6:15 this morning. So yeah, I've just got to take my joggers and that off once I get there. But yeah, it should be a really chill day. It's beautiful weather, which makes a difference. So come along with us. So I'm really pleased actually with how Dan is looking. You can see his summer coat is starting to come through. You can see like the gingery bits. I clipped him about 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I had the chiro out just for his 6th monthly checkup earlier on in the week, and she says that he's looking really well weight wise, and to try and keep him at this weight. So yeah, that's good. He definitely knows he's going somewhere. Right guys, I'm gonna get platted. Okay guys, I've got Dan platted. They're not my best of plats. I'm not proud of them. I've platted all winter, but finer manes, a lot finer. So Dan's is a lot different to plat than like a thoroughbred or something like that. So I've got to get back into the swing of platting a thicker mane, but they will do. You'll see he's kept his mane all winter, and he's annoyingly rubbed it out, but there's not a lot I can do with that. You'll see he splashed poo up his white socks, so I'm going to wash that now. I need to brush through his tail. That's still plaited from last night. I'm going to brush him. Yeah, and then these are the plaiting bands I use. You have to use thick plaiting bands. I'm sorry, the thin ones are no good. And then I bought this at Your Horse Live last year. It's the Smart Grooming one. I normally use the NAF Plait It Up, which I can't recommend enough, but this is the first time using the Smart Grooming and I love it. So yeah, and then I've got my basket here, which is the showing basket. If you're into showing, you guys know. So I'm going to spray this Dream Coat over in a minute. And then hairspray I only use if his tail's being plaited, but his tail's not being plaited today. I am going to be pulling his tail. It's not pulled yet, but it is going to be pulled. And then I have the NAF Blackett hoofer, which I'm going to put on in a minute. And I've got some chalk, which I'll see how well I can get his white sock up. It's pretty white, it's just getting all the poo stains because he knows he's going somewhere, guys, let's just say, don't you? Yes, but you're looking good, but I'm not impressed with those plaits. Definitely could do better. Okay, guys, Dan is all ready. I've put his travel boots on. He has this exact same rug, you guys might remember, in that lovely blue colour, the J blue. I can't find it anywhere. I've got it somewhere. I can't find it, but I bought this rug at Your Horse Live, so he's wearing it for the first time today. But yeah, we are all ready, so I'm just about to get him loaded. I just got to put the basket in the car, but yeah, ready to rock and roll. Very quick turnaround now, guys. So we are in the first class, which is veteran. Now this is my first time ever entering Danny into a veteran class. He will be 18 in May, which makes me very sad. So always, whenever you come into a show ring, you'll all walk round together, and then you'll trot round together, and then you'll be asked to canter round as well. Now, as you can see, we've got little ponies. So Dan has got quite a big stride. But no, he was a very good boy here. I'm actually quite pleased with how he is, because sometimes, especially if we haven't been out for a while, if we're got people in the ring, he does get quite excited and will get strong. And obviously with showing, you've got to make out that your horse is not strong and super light. But no, he was a very good boy. He warmed up beautifully. I didn't give him that much of a warm up because I was really, really happy with how he warmed up. He was super light. I didn't ask for canter in the warm-up because sometimes when you ask for canter, he just gets extremely excited and it just winds him up. So I thought I'd just do the walk and trot and do the canter in the show. Yeah, he did have a few coughs here, but it's the only time he coughed, poor boy. He must have had something stuck down his throat. But then here, obviously, we got a bit too close. And then we was asked to canter around. In a minute, but no, I'm super pleased with how he was here. He wasn't really pulling me at all, and yeah, he was a very, very good boy. I had to slow him up here as we was getting a little bit close to the pony in front of us. But yeah, in a minute the pony in front of me gets called into the middle because he wasn't going to canter around, so it was just me and Dan and then the other girl on the grey that cantered around together. And I was kind of happy that I was in front at this point because, like I said, he gets quite excited. But he did keep it together here. And then in a minute, you'll see, he just was like, this is so much fun. Let me go flat out like a racing car around the corners. And he got quite strong. And I was very worried about coming up behind the pony in front. So, yeah, he did get a little bit strong here. So I just brought him back to trot. As you can see, that was like a very Welsh trot there. And he was rushing and I just finished trotting because I thought, nope. They've seen me have a canter. So I will just bring him back to trot. And then we were asked to come into the middle to then perform our show. But no, I was quite happy with how Dan was then because, yeah, like I said, sometimes he can be really strong from the beginning and he's constantly pulling, but he only got strong when we cantered. But no, very happy with him. So this is now my show, and the judge will always ask you how old your horse is, what do you do with him, and then looks at his conformation, looks how he's turned out, and yeah, and then they'll ask you to do a show. Some judges will tell you a show that they want you to ride. Other judges would just say, just give us a show. And then some classes, depending on what you do, you have to do a proper show for the class. So here the judge just said to me, make up a show. Normally I always do the same show, but I always find I flap a bit. When I haven't been out showing for quite a while, even though I know the show off by heart, I do it every single time I come out showing. If I haven't been out for a while, like after I broke my ankle and I done my first show, I just get lost and I can't think of my show at all. And I don't know what I was doing here. Dan's head carriage was honestly appalling. My show was appalling. I literally just flapped. And I've mentioned before, I hate being the first person to do the show. If I'm the second or the third, fine. The first person, I absolutely hate going. But, you know, if I'm first, I'm first. Here he wanted to go for a canter, and then he done a little buck. Now, I know why he done that, guys. I will go into that in a minute. But yeah, I'm really unhappy with my show. I could have done a much better show. Dan could have gone so much better. And God, he was strong. It might not really look like it in the video, but Jesus, if you was on him, he was strong. He was super excited, super keen. You can see after a canter, he just gets so excited. So yeah, I'm not impressed with that show at all. You can't even call it a show. I've ridden Dan so much better in the past. I was just like, I cannot believe we've just come out and done that. But it was my own fault because I just didn't prepare my show. It's so stupid. So then we all rode around together, and then the judge pulled us in, and I could not believe it. Dan and I got placed first, which I was not expecting at all because my show was appalling. How I rode him was appalling. We've done so much better. I've done a better show, and I was just not expecting to come first. So I was very happy, but I felt like I didn't really deserve to come first. But there we go. It's not my choice. It's the judge's choice. And yeah, so I was pleased with him, but I was like, I really need to get my act together now for the second class. But yeah, it was completely my own fault. So then we went on to do our lap of honour, which Dan loves to do. So yeah, that was really nice. I just went for a nice canter, and then I come back out. There was a few more classes that I wasn't in, and then I come back in to do my second class, which you guys will see in 2 seconds. So my second class, I entered Dan into the show hunter. I like doing the show hunter pony with him. He is a proper traditional hunter type, and he normally does very well in the classes. Now, it was really nice because we basically done the show on our own, so I had the full arena, which was really nice because when you have them lined up, it just restricts you from your show, and you don't have so much space because you're worried about getting too close behind the horses that are lined up or in front. So yeah, it was really nice to actually have the area to myself. So again, I get asked to do a show. Now, there is an actual show hunter show for this, which is what I normally do, but today I just done a different show. I kind of made it up as it went along. I don't really know what was going on with my brain this particular day. So this is now my second show, and I had him more together here, but as you can see, he thought I was going to ask for canter, and I'm like, no, not yet. So then we come across the diagonal, and he's waiting for me to say canter, and you can see he's doing these little bucks still. Now, I know the reason why he done this afterwards, because my numner completely slipped back under the saddle, and it was obviously pressing into him, which was giving him a bit of pain maybe, or hurting. So after I done this class, as you can see, you guys have seen me do much better shows than this. But I'm just saying it's because it's the first show of the season. The last time we done this was back in November, but this was a better show than the first show I done, so I'm taking that away. But yeah, we could have gone much better. He went nice here. But yeah, after I finished the show, once I took him out, I got straight off of him and sorted his number out, and he was fine. So this is now championships, and I just had to trot round to the back of the line, which he was so much better here. As you can see, he was more rideable. If I'd done my classes now, I think we would have got a much better result. But no, I was really happy with that. And then, well, you guys will see in a minute, but I did do a canter after this, and he didn't do the buck at all. I'm pretty sure my mum filmed it. You might see it next. But yeah, everybody else all trots round, and then you get asked into the middle, and the judge decides who they're putting champion, reserve champion, and reserve champion. Not all shows do reserve. You always get champion and reserve. Some shows do reserve, some shows don't. So this is us now all lined up, and this is the judge deciding who's going champion, reserve, and I'm pretty sure there was a reserve, I can't remember. But Dan and I got pulled champion, which I was shocked about because I thought the big Connemara was going to get pulled champion and I might have been reserve. So I was over the moon that we come champion. Yeah, couldn't be happier. Dan was happy to have the sash around his neck. We've been very lucky that every show that we've been to so far, even though it's been a while, we have come first in our class and champion. So I'm over the moon considering it had been such a long time since we'd been out, and it wasn't our best shows today or my best riding, as we were both very rusty, but I'm very, very proud of him. Hi guys, sorry, it's been a little bit, haven't really spoken much since before we left. It's been a bit rushy, but you would have seen my shows, and yes, let's just say Dan felt like a ticking time bomb. I haven't watched back the videos yet, so it might not really show it as much in the videos, or it might. It wasn't our best of showing, but like I said, we haven't been showing since November, so I can't really expect much, to be honest. And yeah, it wasn't our best. I don't know what I was doing with my show. I was very, very rusty. I've definitely done better. We both have, me and Dan. But it is the first show of the season. I didn't really know what my shows were. Dan was just like, honestly, a ticking time bomb. Yeah. But I don't know if I told you guys or not, but the last week Dan has had very, very, very mild bit of mud fever. So last Saturday, just over a week ago now, I got on him to take him for a ride, took him for a ride the night before, absolutely fine. Got on him early in the morning to go to work, and he just was not, he wasn't like lame, but he was footy then, let's say. He just done like a few strides, like funny strides, as soon as I got on him, and I was like, what the hell, you know, when you just go into that instant panic because your horse just doesn't feel right. And at this time I didn't know he had mud fever, and I was like, oh my god, what's wrong with him? Instant panic. So I had to go to work, and I felt like swelling, heat, etc. He had no swelling, there was no heat, literally nothing. I needed to get to work. I thought, I'm not going to put him out in the field because I don't know what it is yet, and if he runs around I just don't want it. I knew that he hadn't been running around in the field because the day before I kept him in because the weather was bad, so I didn't have that worry like, oh my god, has he slipped or done something out in the field. I knew he'd been in. So I thought it potentially could have been an abscess coming through, so I just put him back in the stable because, like I said, I needed to go to work. And then when I finished, I trotted him up and walked him up, and then I felt where like the overreach boots goes, it was just a little bit scabby. Now Dan, literally going back like 6-7 years ago now, a long time ago, Dan got really bad mud fever. He isn't the type to get mud fever, but it has been an extremely wet winter. But he got it really, really bad, and we ended up having to have the vets out, and he had to have like an injection, and he went lame with that. So I know it's like possible, so I thought, right, I'm just going to treat it as mud fever. Where I work was like, look, because he's not like hopping lame or like lame, he's just like a little bit footy, just walk him out the next day. So I treated it, etc., and then the next day I took him for a walk, and he wasn't like 1000% once I first got on him, but halfway around the ride he was literally like back to his normal self. So I think what it was when he was walking, where it was like scabby and a bit sore, it was like pulling as he was walking, but then the longer he walked it like loosened up, if that makes sense. He was literally, I've just been walking him out, and I've kept him in the stable, been treating it, and he's been sound since. So yeah, it's very, very mild bit of mud fever. So I've kept him in all week. He's been ridden, obviously, and in the warm-up he warmed up so nicely, like he was so light, just so relaxed, and I was like, I'm not going to canter him, because sometimes with Dan you ask for canter and it just winds him up, like he just gets so excited, he just wants to do zoomies, which is fine, but showing is meant to be controlled, you know, look like you're not pulling on the reins or anything like that. So I thought, I'm not going to canter him in the warm-up because he's nice and chilled. I'll do my canter in the show, which is controversial, it can go one or two ways, but anyway. So I took him into the ring, which you guys would have seen, and Jesus, he just was like, oh, this is exciting. I should have cantered him up in the warm-up to have got a bit of the excitement out, but then I think it would have made him more excited, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what my show was. It was pretty appalling. I was not impressed with it at all. I was like, I'm not getting anywhere. I don't deserve to get anywhere. So I was very, very surprised to get pulled in first, to be honest. I've put him in the veteran because I've got some plans for this season, guys. And Dan is 18 in May, which makes me really, really sad. I don't want to talk about it. And I've always said Dan is not going into like a veteran class until he's like at least 20 or 25. But the reason why I've done it is because he is such an enthusiastic pony. He just has so much energy. He just loves life so much. And for his age, he moves very, very well. Considering he's even had his injury, he moves very, very well. There's no stiffness, no nothing. And yeah, he's just so enthusiastic, which made me think that he will do quite well down the veteran route. So there's like 3 different classes of veteran. he's in the pre-veteran, which you've got to be from the age of 15 to 19. This is horse-wise, you can be any age of a rider. So I've got some plans up my sleeve with him. So I have put him in veteran, sadly, but yeah, I was very, very shocked to come first, I really was. And then my second class, I put him in the hunter, and I felt like I'd done a better show. It still could have been better, but yeah, we come first again. Now I have more room in my second class because the school isn't very big. It might look bigger on video, but it's not very big at all. And when there's people in a line, it doesn't give you much room. And Dan, he does ride quite big. He covers the ground quite well, so it doesn't give you much room. And he's so speedy as well in canter. It feels like you get to the end of the school like super, super quick. So in the next class, we stood out of the ring, and then we had the space basically, which was so much better. So I feel like I've done the show better, but Dan was still like a ticking time bomb. He was not easy to ride at all today, I will say. He was just so excited. You know, you can't blame him. He's literally not been out in the field for a week. So yeah, I feel like my riding was not great, but it's the first one of the season. But yeah, I'm amazed I've come away with 2 firsts. Then we went into the championships and we come champion. I honestly thought the Grey Connemara was going to come first because they show at county level. So I was like, they're so much better than us. And how Dan went today, I was like, there's no chance. But we come champion. So I'm very proud of him. But yeah, it could have been a lot better, a lot tidier from me. But it is what it is. But you will see he done a few bucks as well in the show. And I was like, what's going on? And I thought it's either the saddle's causing pain or something. So I was like, I think I might need to get the saddle fitter out. But he's had his back done earlier on in the week. There's literally nothing wrong with his back whatsoever, which is amazing. So I know it's like nothing like that. So I thought maybe the saddle's like hurting him because he does buck for excitement. So I was kind of like, is this excitement or is he in discomfort? But my numna, my sheepskin numna, had slipped back. So when I come out of my second class, I got off and I pulled the numna up before we went into the championships. In the championships, we only had to trot round to the back. But then I done my lap of honour. I don't know if my mum filmed that. I done my lap of honour and I cantered and he did not buck when I asked for canter. So obviously the reason why he was bucking was because the numna had pulled right back under his saddle, and it must have been obviously discomfort and hurting him, which is one of the reasons why he was bucking when asked for canter. So yeah, I'm relieved. I have got the saddle fitter coming out anyway, but I've had no issues like prior to him bucking or anything like that. So it must have been the numna and a bit of excitement because Jesus, he was strong. He was really strong. But no, I'm just so glad that we've got the first one out, and now coming into spring, summer, we're going to have so many more shows to go to, which I'm really looking forward to. I just think get the first 2-3 shows out the way, and then I feel like we'll come in so much better, because when I went showing last in November, he was so respectful, he was not strong. So yeah, I'm going to look for some more shows because they only do them monthly, and I want to get out before like another 4 weeks, if that makes sense. So tonight I'm going to be looking at some more shows to go to. So yes, that is my vlog. It's been a bit of a rush. I brought Dan back. He's out in the field now. It's his first day out in the field because I've been waiting for the mud to dry up. We've had some dry days. But I'm in charge of my work horses today. RT, one of my work horses, has gone eventing. I've stayed back to look after Bernie because he's not eventing yet. He's going to start a little bit later into the season. So someone had to stay back for Bernie because he was obviously behind. So I said that I'd stay back with Bernie, which has also meant I've been able to go showing. So I was up extremely early this morning to get Bernie done, get mine done, to then get Dan platted up so I could come showing. And now I'm rushing back to work to do the evenings for Bernie, because not long after I get there, RT is going to be arriving home, and oh, so proud of him. I'm gutted I couldn't have been there, but I had to stay back with Bernie. He's done his first double clear, so he always goes clear on the cross country. He's literally a cross country machine, always clear. Show jumping, he always gets a couple down, and we've been working really hard with getting his show jumping up to scratch, and he's actually gone and gone clear in the show jumping and the cross country, which I knew the cross country would be no issue at all. It's the show jumping that lets him down. He's got a really good dressage score, and he was sat in 3rd place. This was after the dressage, he was sat in 3rd place. I've been looking on eventing scores literally all day. Sat in 3rd place, and oh no, I'm not going yet. Sat in 3rd place, and unfortunately got pushed down to 8th place because they were too slow on the cross country. She pulled him up, so he got some time penalties. But the fact that he's gone clear in the show jumping is just absolutely amazing. It's the first event of the season. I will be going eventing this season, but with Bernie being behind, I've had to stay back with him. So yeah, so I've got to get Bernie done, and then Artie will be coming home, and then I've got to drive back to my yard to get Dan in, because I was hoping to get him in and fed, etc. before I come to work, but yeah, I haven't got time basically, so I'm going to have to go back and get them in and feed them, which is not a problem at all. So yeah, it's been a bit rushy, hence why I haven't really been chatty, but yeah, there's not a lot I can really do. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. I know I haven't done many this year, but like I keep saying, it is because there's been nothing on for us to do. But the upcoming week / month / this summer, I plan to be out and about quite a bit, hopefully. Obviously got to work it around with my work as well, but yeah, should be getting out, which I'm super excited about. So please make sure that you like and subscribe to my vlogs, because I promise I'm going to be a little bit more regular. I'm not sure when the next video will be. It might be another showing vlog, I'm not sure, but stay tuned, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.